Hey guys, I'm Tim.
And I'm Bob.
And I'm Dan.
Welcome to the Board Game Rundown. Today we are going to review Evil High Priest by Petersen Games. It is a 2 to 5 player game, worker placement, resource management.
Yep.
Right? Am I missing anything else?
No.
Yep.
It looks like a lot when you set it up, but then, a couple rounds in, you're like, it's a worker placement game. I know what I'm doing.
Right. Yeah. So basically, each player has their own 2 boards that they're going to use, which will have your own personal action spaces that your evil high priest can take, or the high priest himself. And then there is like a town board. Eventually, there's a rituals board and a boss board, where you can place your other workers.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You also get the your sanctum board where you can build your traps and store all your goods.
Right. Yep. Mm-hmm. So you can buy rooms over here, which will allow you, to bury your treasures, right, deep in your sanctum.
Because the investigators are going to come and they're gonna
raid your stuff.
They're gonna raid your
stuff
because
they're jerks.
That's right.
Might be useless information because I might also be wrong. I think it's called the cult board.
It could be.
Might be wrong, but I'm just trying to get the right information.
So to get into sort of some of the aesthetics, the art, the components, like the general feel of this, while initially I do feel like it can seem overwhelming, like we said, I do think that once everything is in its place, it all makes sense.
Yeah.
It's just being aware of where your actions are and what your options are, right? Because
Which is every worker kind of placement. Because if you don't know what each space does,
right? And there's times where it's like, oh, I could have gone there and gotten more stuff. Because as you unlock spots on this board, it is going to almost give you like improved versions of actions
of the basic ones that you can do. Yeah.
Right. But overall, though, even if you weren't, now we were using the upgraded component pack,
which I do like the upgraded bits.
I love. Nice. The punch board pieces are fine, but I kind of wanted to show off the really nice tokens, and I like the oversized meeple and the regular shaped meeples.
You can literally get a bucket of blood. So
of blood.
What other game do you get that?
Yeah.
Also available is they do have like priest miniatures.
They
like
look
priest
really good.
Cool.
In fact, show Bob really quick. They're in the rulebook. Let him peek.
Let you peek in the rulebook. Yeah.
Let Bob be happy while we're talking.
Yeah, you guys talk.
So what do you got, Dan?
Very
talk
beginning.
while he's looking at the rulebook.
What do I got about components?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in this component category, the aesthetics, this is a Lovecraftian game. The art does not disappoint.
The monster
the art is
art,
fantastic.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at some of this
art.
right now, and like it's a little blurry on there.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man.
But yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, so the art just does not disappoint. Everything's very clear. The iconography is very nice and clear on all this stuff. It's something that Bob appreciates, I'm sure. It's very well color coded, but then also symbol coded.
Correct.
So you have
definitely helps.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might have some reds and greens, but they have a symbol on them telling them apart which one they are.
Yeah, and none of the symbols are anything like the other symbols.
Yep.
Yeah.
And those miniatures might look familiar to you.
Yeah, I'd say they look like the Cthulhu Wars. Yeah, like you've seen like a Cthulhu guy in his little duck suit.
Yeah, the fisherman guy,
fisherman.
we call him.
Yep. Yeah, I like
your
it.
fish sticks.
Mm-hmm. Love fish sticks.
But the
component-wise, obviously
nice.
I've played this game now every time with the upgraded bits.
Right.
They're incredible. They're very good at drawing you into the theme and stuff. It's like those magic ones are incredible that Bob has over there.
Yeah,
these little guys
squiddy
here.
little dudes. You can throw it on that board.
That.
Might be able to see it a little better, but yeah, I would recommend the upgraded components big time. I would say the miniatures. That's up to you. I'm pretty happy with the meeples.
Yeah, the meeples aren't bad.
But the miniatures are fine. I would like.
Yeah, they have crabby hands.
I like these. Like I put the punched out components, which are fine. The art is fine. Like everything's good on them. They're good quality. They're thick.
I like the book a lot.
Yeah, the book's got a lot of detail on it. Like it's got stuff etched.
I know
we
gotta shade it, right? We gotta put something on
there.
A
little
to kind of
wash,
bring out the wash would be good to bring the depth.
But on top of that, all the actual boards and cards and stuff though are clearly nice, thicker cards.
Yeah, they're
good. Thick card stock.
These are good.
Rounded corners.
Rounded corners.
Nailed
it on that one.
Yeah, but these do not feel cheap.
No.
Yeah. These feel good.
Feels real good. And I like the other boards. Also important to note.
Oh yeah, there's multiple.
Yeah.
I saw one more token on there.
Yep, it's gone now. Black Goat is on this side, and then there's a couple of expansions which have more gods. So you got like Windwalker, Cho-Cho, Opener of the Way.
Nice.
I mean, so there is
Never heard of them.
Tons.
Just kidding.
Well, I will kill you.
I know.
There is tons of replayability in the expansions, which also give you more monsters, more investigators, more priests to choose from. So another thing, we'll get into gameplay now, right?
Sure.
So gameplay, everybody gets their board. You get your color, your meeples. Depending on your starting position, you're going to start with some money.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody is going to get a priest. There's a deck of priests that will give your faction an asymmetric ability.
Yep.
And we love asymmetric factions.
Yeah.
Not only asymmetric factions, but this game does something from the bit that I've seen other different characters go around where this is one of those games where every single, like, it's just like, okay, well, you're broken.
Yeah.
But then Bob looks at me because I do something on my turn. He goes, "Yeah, you're broken.
You're broken.
Yeah.
It's one of those games where everyone feels broken in their specialty.
Right,
I love
right.
that.
Everybody hates everybody else's thing. They're
Right.
jealous of it, but you
Yeah.
got something really good
Yeah.
still.
Yeah. Every
So-
time he used his, it felt overpowered.
Right,
Yeah.
You know.
right.
But then every time I did mine, it felt
Oh,
overpowered.
we all cry every time. And then, yeah, you're essentially, you're going to play one worker, one spot, and you get the thing.
Gain the resources.
What I love about this board, and it makes it so easy to tell, is that if it's on the top, it's got like a broken red circle around it.
Yep.
That means you pay it, and you just get what's on the bottom.
Yep.
I mean,
And it's got a
it's-
little blue square around the bottom stuff. Any gains or
Right. Red is pay, blue is gain.
yep, and
Right.
even breaks it down up here.
Yep. And it says it even up here too, as well, on multiple boards. So
Yeah, the iconography is really easy to pick up on.
man, it helps.
Yep.
It helps a lot.
Yeah.
So and you're gonna go, and then when everybody's out, you bring your guys back. I
Yep.
mean, the actual gameplay, I feel like, and how to play it is pretty
It's a
easy.
worker placement
Yep,
game.
yeah,
It
it's
is
a
a-
straightforward worker placement game.
If you've played one, you're really going to be able to build off of that
Mm-hmm.
experience and pick this up quickly.
The
Yep.
one thing is that you will be building up your sanctum here with
Mm-hmm.
defenses to guard your resources. Once raids start happening is where this other board finally flips,
Right.
unlocking even more options for worker placement. And these
Mhm.
are interesting too because these are worker placement spots where
These are
you
delayed
go-
gratification.
Yeah,
Correct,
you
yeah,
go and you
delayed.
slowly move throughout rounds and gain stuff.
Right.
So
Because the rituals take a while to cast.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Thematic too, which I
Yep.
like.
Yeah, it's very thematic.
So
It's
yeah, I
very
like that the
thematic.
game has a good amount of spots at the beginning, and then it
Keeps
doesn't
opening up
overwhelm
more,
you. Yeah,
right.
it's like okay, you've gotten to a point in the game now where you're starting to understand. Okay, here's some more good stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
very,
a really
very
good
nice.
way to put it.
And that's kind of how that works too, as you get the resources
Yeah.
early on, and you start unlocking more and more.
Yeah, this
And
is literally a very seamless way to unlock more actions as you understand the game more.
Yes.
Mhm. Yeah, it's very, very clever in its
Mhm.
design. And they also don't. So as you're unlocking and taking these elder signs, as you're breaking them off of here, you're going to run into spaces that have a handgun or a pistol. That means when you do that, you're going to trigger a raid.
Mhm.
And triggering a raid is
It can really hurt yourself sometimes.
so bad. So bad. So essentially, you're going to roll a die. They're numbered here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I roll a 1. So we would fight. This guy is going to come or lady. He's
Yep.
going to come and raid our dungeon. So you're going to set your raid level, whatever her strength is. We would roll.
To determine their strength.
We roll a die based on how many pistols. So her strength would be a 3. And you've got different ways that you can absorb strength. You can have monsters potentially in your lair. They're awesome. Your rooms have a trap value, so they're going to do damage. But also, and goes to the theme of the game that I really like, is that you've got these unused workers, unrecruited workers, right? And they're sitting in the asylum. And it's just like these are just maniacs. And
Like
so they
running around the
yeah,
sanctuary.
so they reduce the attack value or the raid value before she even gets to you.
Because
The investigator's showing
see-
up
and they're
and-
like, I don't want to
Yeah,
go
I'm
in
not
there.
going in there.
Yeah.
Look at all those
Right.
crazy people. Yeah. No,
I
we're
like
not
that a
going
lot,
in.
yeah.
Mhm.
And then it's really important on your board. You've got exposed resources, which are right up in front. And then as you buy the rooms, you can stash things deeper down in your dungeon, make it that they've got to go through more rooms to get
Right.
to. But then any room that they clear, you're going to lose those resources.
Yep.
So really fun story. I thought I was going to be really clever and ruin this guy's game because he was ahead of me by like 5 points. I had like 50 points. He had like 55-ish, right?
Sure.
I'm like, I'm going to do a raid because it's going to jack you up and I'm going to be good. I was wrong. I lost everything and he lost not even one single resource.
misjudge of the century.
Oh, I made a huge
50-point
mistake.
swing, which is like almost as many points as you score in the entire game.
Yeah, it totally killed me.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say the nice thing was that I was having so much fun.
It didn't matter.
It didn't matter because
Yeah.
I liked the press your luck
Yeah,
aspect of it,
sure.
right?
Right.
Because when we were playing and it's like, oh, is he going to do a raid? Like, I got to be ready if he's going to do it and the raid's going to come. And it's like, okay, I can soak this much. And you might build up for all of this and then you might roll 3 1s and
Yeah.
the raid strength is just garbage. And you're
Yeah, and
Your
you use all
lunatics
those
there.
turns to
Yeah.
build up for
Your lunatics
it's,
there
it's still not a bad
just-
thing to prepare for, but
Yeah.
yeah.
no, always be prepared.
Yeah.
I really like the fact that we're playing as the cultists, and you can summon monsters to come
Yes.
protect your sanctuary and
And the-
all of the buckets of blood that you've managed to collect.
And some of the monsters do unique and fun and mean things. Like I
Correct, yeah.
summoned one that made you.
Yeah.
Basically, I switched. I gave you a
Right.
crappy monster.
yeah,
and I took a
yeah,
good
he's
monster.
got a real weak strength, and when you take him, you get to swap him from somebody else's
Yeah.
and take their strong monster.
Like, thanks, buddy.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Who
But there's
won?
other things too, like some people let you pay money for magic. Some of them will let you pay money for blood.
Yeah.
or
The
blood for
preparation
magic.
phase ones are really good to have
Yeah.
early game.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So it's neat. There's a good mix.
so you go through, you take all your actions, then you do the preparation phase. And the preparation phase, your guys are going to advance down the board. They're going to advance 1. So when they get to the end space, they don't automatically fall off. They actually have to
Spend
be
the turn
here
there.
and then walk off out of the
Mhm.
ritual.
Right.
There are ways to get them back earlier.
Right. So they're stronger, but it does tie your worker up for an extra turn or
Yes,
two.
yes. But just the thing that I'm really excited about this game, legitimately, is that we've played twice on the Cthulhu map.
Mhm.
Yes.
So we played like 1 out of how many maps?
Yeah,
you know
sure.
what I mean? And
Mhm.
we've seen different high
Different
priests
priests. Yep.
every time.
Mhm.
The rooms I've
Seen most
seen
of the
some
rooms.
new ones, but there's
Yeah.
some common ones, right? Like a
Right.
regular trap and vault are pretty common.
Yep.
But I've seen all new investigators, and
Mhm.
I've seen new monsters every time. Now deep ones tend to kind of hang out, but there's a bunch of
A
them.
lot of them.
And you can always take those out of the deck depending on who you're playing.
Mhm.
What
Yeah, we didn't even mix in the unique monster stuff.
right.
Yeah, so
Right.
Yeah. Cool.
And some of that is board specific. So there's already a ton of replayability in the base game. And then if you pick up the 2 expansions, I mean, it's just a ton more.
Mhm.
And those are they're like little small box expansions, but it's awesome.
Like new cards and stuff.
Right.
Mhm.
And the great thing, though, is in the rule book in the base game, it tells you everything that's in each expansion.
Nice.
So it's all broken
it's
down.
one
And you
rule
can go
book
and
to
get
rule
what
them
you
all.
want. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you can go, that looks kind of cool. I think I would like that. So you can
Mhm.
kind of piecemeal it to your taste.
Right.
I like having everything.
Right.
But yeah, this is a really nice twist on a worker
Mm-hmm.
placement. And
So one of the things is like, so when you're playing your guys out, you can't place multiple people there.
oh, right.
But they do have a skulk ability, so you're allowed to put a guy up here who's basically on pause, and then later on, after everybody's placed all their guys, then you can come by and skulk about and
Skulk about town.
yeah, and take the same actions that they were able to take, but it's delayed, so you can't
Right.
do it right away, and you can take the action at the end. And that's a
Right.
neat,
So you may not have these resources to spend this turn, but you're
Right.
going to get them next turn because you
right.
skulk.
You're like, oh man, someone took that action. I really need to do it. Well, if you really need to do it, then you skulk about
Right.
to the end of the turn, and you can do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good
But
stuff.
yeah, because some of them let you bump games, and there's no
Right.
bumping in this one. It's just a different
Yeah.
way around that.
Yeah.
Anybody else, anything on replayability or
I
did
mean,
you have fun? Did you have fun playing it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a good time.
I love worker placement games. People know this, and I had fun with this game. And I do think, as you already covered, you didn't use that word, but with everything all the options that are in this game, the replayability is insane.
Yeah,
Right.
it's
You know,
high.
It's
It's
yeah.
really high.
So
It's really high. There's so much.
good marks.
Yeah, very good.
Mm-hmm.
So what about the weight? Like, who's this game for?
It's intimidating looking.
A little
It's
bit.
definitely a table hog, and it's
It
It
intimidating.
is a table hog. It's. I would say that this is a midweight worker placement.
Yes.
Mhm.
But anybody that is, I wouldn't break this onto somebody relatively new.
Yeah, this should not be someone's first worker placement game, I think.
correct.
Right.
Right.
But if they've played a couple and they
Yes.
like worker
Replacement
placements,
games,
say
it's a nice
like-
dabble.
Yeah,
Exactly,
yeah.
because
Yeah.
I did not say it is
Mhm.
complicated, right? But it looks
Right.
complicated.
It's not
It's
super
int-
crunchy like a Lisboa or something.
yeah, not
like
near as
that.
heavy.
Right. But
yeah.
it's got a little bit of crunch to it. It's a
Right.
medium crunch.
Yeah. No, I think it's a very good like middle of the road, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I
It took
think,
us about an hour and a half to play. But
and that
we
was
were
with
learning.
teaching
Yeah.
2 people. It was
Yeah.
And this game does have the opportunity for lots of backstabbing.
Oh, yeah.
So that plays effect to people sometimes. If you don't like games that has the opportunity to be very mean. We have not ran into that yet.
I mean, there was
Not really. There was a little bit of, well, I need to take this action now to hurt
Yes,
him,
but
otherwise he's going to get to protect
But it wasn't like
himself.
overwhelming, right?
Right.
Right.
To where some games are. And
Right.
so I don't think that's going to be a problem, but I'm just saying if you avoid that at all costs, like,
Right.
oh, that game's kind of mean.
I guess
Yeah.
I guess I look at it as there is player interaction. So
Yes,
if you want to
there is some
play
negative player
interaction.
if you want to play some negative,
I'm interacting with you.
Yeah. Interact with that
don't worry,
knife in your back.
don't worry, I will do it myself.
Yeah.
That's true.
But no, I would say though, like if you like your worker placement games to be more solitaire, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with those, but
Right.
those exist.
Right.
That this is not that.
Yeah,
No.
and I'm coming from a perspective, I'm kind of known as someone who does not enjoy really mean games. And I did not get that from this. I mean,
Right.
it
I don't
just
think
has
it's
an
that
opportunity.
mean.
It's not a
Yeah.
mean game.
Yeah.
No.
But
There's
there
enough.
is an opportunity for some.
And there's also
cutthroatery.
some bartering, right? Like depending on the raid, we had a raid where
Someone
someone
you
could
could
give
convince
up,
somebody to get rid of an elder sign,
which
to
is
do
10
something, which is a lot of points, but you're allowed to bribe them with resources too.
right.
So that's
Yeah,
kinda neat.
so there is player interaction in
Correct.
a fun way. So I like it.
Yeah.
As far as availability goes, this is definitely available on the Petersen Games website. I hope that you would be able to find it in game stores, but you may just need to ask your game store.
Ask them to order
Hey,
it. Yeah.
do you get
I heard about
this?
this game. Can you get it for me?
Right,
Yeah.
right. Always a good way to go
Mm-hmm.
because you're probably going to pay the same amount at your friendly game store
Yep.
as you will off the website. So either way, right? I prefer.
You can avoid the shipping cost yourself by getting it from
Right.
your game store and have them buy the shipping.
Also true, and I honestly, if I can keep that game store going, right?
Right,
Like,
because you want to have a place to go and hang out. That's why we're doing this.
and get games. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's not. You're gonna have to do like this much work maybe to find it. So if you don't walk in on and see it in your game store, ask somebody, hey, can you order this?
I'm tired. Yeah, I think
Too
it's
much
what
work.
stops you.
It's too much work. Gosh. But yeah, Petersen Games has a ton of stuff on their website. So be careful because if you go there, you might buy this
And some other stuff.
and other
You
stuff.
might go insane.
Yeah.
And I
Yes.
would recommend going to the website and getting the upgrade token
bits.
pack for sure.
At least looking at
Upgrade your bits.
Yeah, upgrade your bits. But we like the fancy bits,
We-
right?
I'm a fancy bit kind of.
We're the fancy
Fancy.
lads. We're the fancy lads when it comes to the bits.
Mm-hmm.
So final thoughts. We're gonna rate this on 1 to 10, and
Oh,
we're gonna
okay.
average it out.
Oh,
Right?
So the
okay.
board game rundown will be giving the game a score.
The board game rundown's final score will be the average of all three of us.
Ah, Gotcha.
So who wants to go first?
For number wise, I have a
Number-wise.
number. I'm trying to get some final thoughts out. I'm
I'll
trying to
get some
think
final
of-
thoughts.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying. I'm trying to think like
Oh,
what
well, we'll
else?
be here all day
Yeah,
if we're waiting for you to
exactly.
think.
I'm trying to think.
All right, so I'm going to say final thoughts, right?
Uh-huh.
If you're going to take a bunch of stuff into account, artwork is on point.
Yes.
This is top-notch artwork.
Quality components.
Really like the art.
Component, even without the fancy
Yeah,
bits.
I mean, I can tell just from this stuff.
Right.
If this is good quality, these are going to be great quality.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
components.
I mean, they're
are-
not dual layered, but,
Oh,
Right.
but still.
Whoa! Why would you
But
need
still,
that?
yeah. I don't know. It'd be hard to get your cards out of there.
Yeah. Now they're all
put a little
ripped.
hole in the back so you can poke through.
Yeah.
Oh, you need to stop talking.
Gosh, it's too
What
much.
were you saying?
Artwork's on point.
Yes.
It is.
Theme. This game has a very solid theme. This
Yep.
is not pasted on, right? This
Nope.
is
The
like
theme is the game.
Theme
Well,
is the
and
game.
I guess
Yep.
we should say the theme is whoever wins has pleased.
Oh, I'm the
gods
greatest high
most,
priest.
and you are the high priest now.
Yeah, because I won the game, so I was. That's
well,
why I say. I
till you
was.
get a knife in your back.
Yeah, yeah,
already
yeah.
there.
Don't worry. The knife that I was going to put in your back, I'm going
Yes.
to trip on all that blood I spent
Yeah.
and stab myself.
Right.
And then you will win because you'll still be standing there.
Sounds good.
But no, theme's on point, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Theme is, and not everybody cares about theme, but if you do, theme is here.
It is there.
It is there in abundance.
Mm-hmm.
Again, artwork. The weight of this game, I like a nice middleweight game because I can get it played more
Right.
than a heavier. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Anachrony, right? Like, or
Mhm.
Tricarion. I'll sit down and play something really tough
Yeah.
and grindy, barrage, right?
Or Barrage. Yeah.
Barrage.
Barrage. But this game is going to be so accessible because I can get lighter weight gamers,
Yep.
or just because it'll play in an hour, hour and a half.
Right.
Well, and because of our gaming groups, this is a theme that it's going to go over so well.
And it's a Cthulhu
Yeah.
theme,
So,
right?
yeah,
It's
to be
and it's not an arbitrary Cthulhu theme.
Right. It's not like,
a
oh, it's this
legit-
game with a Cthulhu slapped on it. you
Right.
know?
What do you mean
Right.
that never happens?
Yeah.
But no, it's
An
all when you
obligatory-
take all of those things into account. You got
Mhm.
any other final thoughts? I try to just run down bunch of the things.
Oh,
giving it a
was he
7.
supposed to be thinking about that while you were
He was
talking?
supposed to be.
I'm giving it a
Steady.
7.
You're giving it a
Yeah.
I'm
7?
giving it a 7. I like this game.
Okay.
I like it a lot. It is not my favorite worker placement game,
Sure.
by any means. But I like it a lot, and this does things that my other worker placement games don't do, and I will be looking at this game.
Okay. Okay. Oh, another thing I'll point out. I liked it the first time I played it. Despite winning, I liked it even more the second time I played it.
Oh, sure.
So winning didn't mean that make it that I liked it more. Like I
You
understood
can't
it.
prove that.
And to be honest, he really only won by 1 point.
I
And
did
with
win
his
by-
history of winning by 1 point,
it calls
into
some
question.
suspicion.
That's right.
Listen. Whatever.
You did say your score first.
Yeah.
So we
that's
do
true.
have
Oh, you had
evidence.
50? Oh, I had 51.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
okay.
weird.
I
did
had
check
51.
my
I
score.
bumped my board. I had
But I had
51.
51 though.
You checked my score.
Yeah.
You knew what my points were. So Bobby, what do you give it out of 10?
I'd probably give it like a 7.5 to an 8.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to do the half points.
No,
or
we
not.
should probably not do half points because that's going to help with averaging. Just so
Right.
you know. Right.
Okay.
So if you're at 7.5, just go to 8.
We'll give it
Round
an 8.
up. Be
yeah.
nice.
So I think it's a little bit better than a
generous.
7, but because I do like all the different cards. I love the artwork.
Right.
I like worker placement games. I like it when they take colorblind people into consideration.
Yes.
Right.
So yeah, I enjoyed it. I would definitely play it again.
I would. This is an 8 for me, and
Mhm.
if we come back in a year, and I've played this 10 more times,
see it
it could
going
be a
to a
9.
9.
It could be
Yeah.
a 9. It's not going down, I don't think, especially not with all the
With the
variety.
new boards, yeah, because we've only
because-
played the one board.
Right, and
Mhm.
all the boards,
That
the
one
tracks
looks tougher.
The
on that
tracks
side.
all move differently, right,
Yeah.
on each board, and they
Mhm.
do different things. And I love it. And the
Mhm.
more that I talk about it, like I'm talking myself into a higher score. So I believe mathematically that was a 7.1. Okay, guys. Due to madness caused by playing Evil High Priest, we failed to do math properly. Our actual rating for the game is 7.7.
7.
So it's even better than we initially told you.
For the pool of worker placement games that are out there.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
ton.
7.7. Good.
Yeah, there's a lot of
We
worker
liked it.
placement.
And I
We
do want to say thanks to Petersen Games because
Of
they
course.
did send us this specifically to review.
Mhm.
I had actually taught Planet Apocalypse and Cthulhu Wars at Gen Con a year ago next to this game getting played the whole time. And everybody
Okay.
was having a really good time playing this.
Right.
And I kept peeking over like, man, I kind of want to,
Check that
I'd
one
like
out.
to check it out, but I was teaching the whole time. So I never got to play it. So now that I had the chance, I'm really glad. And I'm really glad I have it to play and that we can try out the other maps.
Yeah.
So this isn't one where it's like, yeah, it was pretty good, and it's gonna go sit on my
Oh,
shelf.
yeah, no.
Right.
You know, like
Yeah.
this is going to
Yeah.
like
the
we're
fact
gonna,
that it is a little bit shorter than some of the crunchier ones
Right.
will
Correct.
help it get to the table.
Just
Right.
make sure you
more
got your
often.
big table out.
get the big table
Yeah,
out. Yeah.
Or if you got like
Little-
dinner trays,
Of
because
course.
you could have little satellite
Everything would
areas.
fit. They're the right
yeah.
size.
Yeah,
Sure.
because they're smaller.
There you go.
Mhm.
Bob
More
with the life
modular.
hack.
Hey,
Yeah.
small tables, you got to have satellites.
So this has been Evil High Priest. I've been Tim.
I've been Bob.
I've been Dan.
This is the Board Game Rundown. Thanks so much for watching.
Thanks for checking out the Board Game Rundown. If you like what you saw, like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Share our videos on social media and spread the word. We publish new content weekly, including reviews, unboxing, and Let's Plays. And as always, thanks for watching.